Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Disney. Disney Animation collapses as their new film Wish is rejected by families. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. It's inexplicable to really look at Disney and see how they've ruined not just all of their brands that they purchased, like Lucasfilm, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Marvel's characters. Pixar is not what it used to be, but Disney's overall brand of Disney. Anything with the name Disney associated with it now looks like families are not giving it a chance. I can understand why they wouldn't want to give it a chance. Disney has been pushing way too hard on this anti-racist, decenter whiteness agenda. And that is no exaggeration. I've done a number of videos on the subject. I also do videos on the woke agenda. I just did one recently about the decentering whiteness movement they're trying to push in industry. Disney has accepted this wholeheartedly. It's destroy the patriarchy, decenter whiteness, push the anti-racist mentality. And it goes not just for one of their brands or one of their films or a part of the company. It's throughout the company. Inexplicable to see them do something like this and have it affect so much of their company and still see them not do any course correction to try to fix what they've done. Coming from that Park Place, Disney Wish collapses at Thanksgiving box office, underperforming even the worst projections by 50%. That is a flop's flop. This thing has done worse than the Marvels, and we all know the Marvels has not done that well. From Zero Hedge, Disney's Wish is a theatrical bomb and the latest in a string of woke failures. And if anyone tries to tell you that Wish is not a woke movie, it is a woke movie. This is from an interview with the producers. The producers of Disney's Wish achieved a dream with the film and hopes to inspire others. Their first sentence in this article: the power of wish-making, fairy tales, and representation will come together on the big screen next month in Wish, a movie commemorating Walt Disney Studios' 100th anniversary. Wish has grossed $49 million worldwide. I mean, that is a really poor number. We'll get into some specific numbers in terms of how Disney used to do on Thanksgiving weekends when they released what was supposed to be an animated family film. The Marvels at $188 million worldwide actually makes this movie look good, even though it's been out for more than 1 week. From Variety VIP Plus, why Disney should preserve the Hulu brand at all costs. And this is a good article talking about some of the intricacies of the streaming industry, how valuable Hulu potentially could be to Disney. But I would half expect Disney to say, no, we want to get rid of Hulu and just focus on the Disney Plus name. We'll see what they wind up actually doing. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but anything with the name Disney on it has now been severely devalued. It used to be Disney stood for quality, families, good entertainment, classics. Not anymore. Disney also recently did a financial report stating that their focus on ESG, environmental, social, and governance goals, could affect consumers no longer wanting to support their entertainment. This is a pretty standard kind of filing. It's understandable that they would put this out. This should have come out, though, years ago when they clearly made the decision internally that this is what they were going to do. Iger was aware of it. The board of directors was aware of it. They're the ones who are responsible for the financial reporting. It should have come out sooner. This could get them in some trouble. From BoxOfficePro.com, and this comes in and does advanced predictions and also nice analysis of a variety of movies, what they were expected to do, what they actually wound up doing. This movie, Wish, came in at number 3 at the box office this weekend. At least it beat the Marvels. But consider how bad this is. The 5-day total for Wish is running far below the other animated musicals released by Disney on Wednesdays of Thanksgivings in the past. 53% below Disney's 2010 Tangled movie that was $68.7 million. 61% below 2016's Moana, which was $82 million. 66 below 2013's Frozen at $93.5 million. Even though I've done many videos criticizing Disney, I did a video criticizing this movie Wish before it came out because they explain what the background of it was. And of course, it's anti-racist, as they call it. It's anti-patriarchy, all of this social justice, woke agenda stuff. And it's depraved. It does not belong in children's movies. But I did not expect that Disney could fail this badly on a Thanksgiving weekend. Keeping in mind these numbers for Tangled, Moana, Frozen. Moana goes back 7 years. These other movies, some of them go back more than 10 years, like Tangled, or Frozen goes back 10 years. How are they able to do less money today than they were 10 years ago? Families don't trust the company. I understand people are not hearing good word of mouth because a lot of the stuff they're doing is not even merit-based when they're hiring directors and they're bringing talent on. They're just pushing stuff out, trying to give everyone a chance to work on their projects. And I understand that. I used to do that at my comic companies back in the day. I would try to give people an opportunity to do work if they were passionate about being part of the comic book process. Writers, artists, it went on. But people had to produce to a certain standard, so we would kind of help them along. At Disney, they just kind of bang things out and are more concerned about representation, not just in the characters, but in the people making the projects than they are about quality, which isn't even good for the people that they're bringing on to give these opportunities to. The opportunities are worthless to people if they're going to have a flop and it's going to damage their career. They're also supposed to learn by being mentored and helped. But it seems like that concern doesn't even exist over there anymore. From Zero Hedge, is it time to declare the Disney brand dead? Only a couple of weeks ago, the entertainment giant suffered one of its worst box office showings ever with the failure of The Marvels, a feminist-driven girl boss movie which was widely applauded by social justice advocates but ignored by the vast majority of the public. 65% of the people who went to see The Marvels were actually men. Men who are loyal to the Marvel brand, still like superheroes, but it's a very small number of men compared to the men that went to go see the Avengers movies. But for all the female characters they're jamming into these movies saying, oh, well, it's representation. People will go see it because they want to see themselves on screen. It's not working. The Marvels is expected to lose $200 to $300 million once receipts are totaled and marketing costs are accounted for. Because they have to spend a good $100 to $150 million or more to promote their movie when they release it, on top of the production budget. In a bizarre attempt at maximum cope, the media is hailing The Marvels as the largest ever theatrical opening by a black female director, when in fact, the movie is actually the largest box office bomb made by a female black director. And of course, nothing wrong with being female, being black, being a director, being all three of those things or a couple of combinations of them, but you can't celebrate things unless it's actually successful. Yes, Disney gave her a chance. Is Warner Bros. Discovery going to give her a chance? Probably not. Is Disney going to give her another chance? They would, but with all of these failures one after another, probably not. She'll get some other work on smaller projects, but they've damaged her reputation now forever with this dopey failure that she was never qualified to work on. Now, Disney's animated The Wish is set to top that failure, falling well below box office predictions and bringing in only $32 million over a 5-day period, including the once lucrative Thanksgiving weekend. Numerous reports suggest that Wish is opening to empty theaters across the country. Media spin doctors have attempted to jump ahead of get woke, go broke accusations with articles claiming that the movie is not woke, but more libertarian in its messaging. This is, for the most part, a dishonest deflection. The film's producers openly admit their woke methodology in a number of interviews, including their desire to inject diversity and inclusion messaging. And that's covered in more detail in this article. While the woke intent is more obscure than previous films, Wish features yet another precocious ethnic teen female, this one named Asha, banding together with her diverse cast of friends to fight a revolution against the white male patriarchy. The main villain is, of course, a white guy named King Magnifico, who rules over the kingdom of Rosas using the magical power to grant wishes. However, the king doesn't grant everyone's wish, only some, and those who don't get their wish granted forget their wishes forever. Asha believes this is unfair and that all people should have their wishes returned or fulfilled, perhaps in a vague nod to the concept of equity in which Every person is taught to expect equality of outcome, not just equality of opportunity. When Asha finds a magical power that threatens the king's monopoly, he loses his mind with envy and goes full bore dark side to keep control. While this story arc could be interpreted as a criticism of centralized governance, the greater plot is far more socialist in its agenda. The evil king is overthrown by the power of collective love. The queen sides with the revolutionaries and rules in his place, and everyone gets access to equal wish fulfillment. It's a woke carnival sideshow. Critics also argue that the film is mostly unoriginal, with an endless list of nostalgia references and character ideas stolen from better movies made decades ago. The common reaction to Wish from theatergoers? It's boring. This has been the MO of modern Disney for some time now. They dig up the old bones of their previous successes and try to reanimate them instead of making something new and imaginative. This is what happens when a company hires creators based on diversity stats rather than talent. And you can hire people based on diversity stats, but put them in a position where they can't fail. That's what you do with interns. With an intern, you give them a limited amount of responsibility. And if you want to have an assistant director, or if you want to have a director, but you're going to have to put a studio executive really working closely with that director, making sure that the project comes out good. You can't just turn over content to them and say, well, let's see what happens. It's like having your 4-year-old kids make dinner every night. It's not going to work out. It's not because you don't love them. It's not because you don't want to give them a chance. It's because they don't know what they're doing. Massive losses have been plaguing Disney month after month. Lightyear and Strange World featured LGBT messaging for children, which did not go over well with audiences. Indiana Jones' Dial of Destiny was another feminist replacement fantasy that bombed horribly. Almost every major Marvel and Star Wars release in theaters and on Disney Plus has hit a brick wall in the past couple of years, largely due to woke messaging. It's a failstorm of epic proportions. The spin machine is working overtime to defend Disney's brand. Woke films like Elemental were flops at American theaters, but made more money overseas. The movie still failed to break even once the marketing costs and the theater cut is added. Wish will probably be handled the same way. A disaster in the US, but a moneymaker in South Korea or Brazil. And at this stage in the game, this is the best that Disney can hope for. Breaking even. In the meantime, Disney's name is mud in America, and for good reason. Rumors are swirling that the company is seeking to de-wokeify future content, but it may be too little too late for an organization that only 2 years ago was so aggressive and prideful in their efforts to indoctrinate American youth. Disney is currently working on Frozen 3. I have to wonder though, if Frozen 3 came out next Thanksgiving, for example, would it do the kind of business that it would have done before all of this woke nonsense they've been pushing? I don't think it would. They've severely damaged their animation brand as well as, of course, their other brands. Here's an even crazier thing. Frozen came out in 2013, did $1.3 billion, almost $1 billion internationally. That's a huge success. So of course they made another Frozen. Frozen 2 came out in 2019. It did $1.4 billion. In addition to this tremendous merchandising, little girls everywhere loved it. Great for the Disney brand. Even though it was similar to other Disney movies from the past, it was new intellectual property for them. This movie and this brand could be making Disney money for the next who knows how many years. 20 years, 50 years, maybe 100 years. Why didn't they start making another Frozen sequel? Why didn't they start on Frozen 3 as soon as they saw the results from Frozen 2 at the very least? Because they haven't been focused on their business. They haven't been focused on their brands. Maybe, and some people rumor this, they were trying to figure out if they could make their characters LGBT or not and reveal that in Frozen 3. Who knows? But there's no excuse for it. Now that they've permanently damaged their animation brand and that they've permanently damaged the Disney brand, I don't know how they could ever fix it to get it back the way it was. Now they have Frozen 3 coming out. Is it going to do $1.4 billion? I highly doubt it. People don't want, need, or feel comfortable around Disney products anymore, and they really shouldn't. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.